Hello friends, welcome to another video. Thank you for being here. In today's video, I am going to show you some meal prep that I did for a work week. And I also want to talk about some non-scale victories that I've had. I really want to talk about some of those yay moments that I've had that have really helped me stay consistent and stay on track with this journey. Meal planning and meal prep has been pivotal to ensuring that I can consistently meet my goals. So as I said, I'm going to share with you some of the recipes that I use on a consistent basis for my meal prep. For breakfast, I made overnight oats, starting with 1/3 cup of oats and a tablespoon of chia seeds in a mason jar. Then to one of the jars, I added a tablespoon of powdered peanut butter, half a scoop of vegan protein powder, 2/3 cup of non-dairy milk. I used almond milk because that's what I had in the fridge. Then I added some dairy-free coconut yogurt. I topped it with blueberries, and that was the first jar. The second jar, I repeated the same thing, except I used chocolate protein powder and raspberries. So one of the first non-scale victories that I've had, of course, was completing the 1,000-kilometer race that I signed up for back in May. And I managed to complete it in 65 days. And that was a huge victory for me to be able to accomplish something like that. And that's something that I'm really proud of. And you know, if you have your own goals that you're working towards or something that you've really been wanting to do, even if to you it feels insignificant, it's not, and that should be celebrated. So that's what this is about, is just celebrating those victories that are not related to weight change or body composition changing. So that was one of my first and biggest non-scale related victories, is completing the 1,000-kilometer race when I really thought it would be a struggle for me to finish it in 4 months, and finishing it early and strong felt really good and deserves celebration. So yeah, celebrate your wins. Overnight oats keep pretty well for a couple of days. So for the Monday morning, I mixed some non-dairy vanilla yogurt with a scoop of chocolate protein powder and stirred and stirred and stirred. This process takes a while, but I promise it's worth it. This dessert breakfast is delicious. Then I added some hemp seeds, some chia seeds, and some granola, topped it with raspberries, threw some plastic wrap on it, and put it in the fridge to consume first thing in the morning. If you're looking for non-scale victories and things that aren't related to the number on the scale or what your body looks like, I really like to think about what your body can do. So personal records are always a big win for me. I always take those as a huge win anytime I set a PR. You know, I recently started going to a CrossFit style gym in my hometown, and CrossFit is a lot of lifting. This week alone, I've had 2 personal records for lifting. The first one was a deadlift, and I think it was 65 pounds maybe. I've since started keeping track, so I'll actually know for sure what the weight I'm lifting is and what my PR actually is. Which probably isn't a very high number, but for me, I don't think I've ever deadlifted more than, you know, some 10 or 15 pound dumbbells. So 65 pounds is pretty significant for me, and I'm pretty proud of that. Same with a back squat. I've never done squats with a barbell. So I did 3-rep back squats at 75 pounds, and I'm really proud of that. Again, really just celebrating my body for what it can do instead of what it looks like. That's what I like to focus on. That's what this fitness journey is really focusing on, is my personal goals of what I'm able to do and how I'm getting there and how I'm doing it. So I'm having a lot of fun with this, and I'm just having a really good day. So I'm like really proud of myself. As another option for breakfast, I made a tofu scramble. So I just chopped up some onion, celery, and green pepper and sauteed that for a little bit before crumbling a full package of firm tofu, adding a squeeze of mustard, some salsa, and nutritional yeast, and then letting that cook for a few minutes. I had roasted some sweet potatoes with just some olive oil, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. So I put those in a container and added the tofu scramble for an easy transfer to a smaller container to bring for my lunch or to have for breakfast at work. This year, this summer specifically, I've had some increase in body confidence, or maybe it's just not caring as much about what other people's judgments might be if I wear certain things. Or I wear a size 16, and I do have a tummy, and you know, I've made comments about what my arms look like and not loving them, and you know, my thighs are a bit bigger. Anyways, we all have our own issues with certain parts of our body. The difference is this year I just didn't care as much about other people's thoughts about my body. I right now feel very comfortable in my skin. Being able to confidently wear shorts throughout the summer, that was always something I worried about previously, and I don't worry about that, or I haven't worried about it this year. And wearing a bikini and taking pictures of myself in a bikini and putting that out there and getting the feedback. And honestly, most of the feedback I received was positive. That's a really cute swimsuit. Where did you get it? You're rocking that look. You know, all really positive messages from people who I know, sometimes from people that I don't know. You know, I've been at the gym and working out in my sports bra. And prior to this year, it's not something I ever would have done. I actually had this moment back in May. I was out for a run, and it's, you know, I live in Canada, so sometimes May can be quite cold. I was wearing long leggings and I think a long sleeve top, and it was way too hot. And 10 minutes into the run, I was sweltering. And the friend that I was running with said, just take your top off. Who cares? Just do it. And normally I would have suffered through that and just been hot and not cared about it, but I didn't care. I actually did care initially, and it took me a few minutes to convince myself to take the long sleeve shirt off and just run in my bra. And it didn't matter to me what other people thought about what I was running in. So that was a huge moment for me to just feel confident in my own skin and confident enough to not worry about what everybody else was thinking about me. You know, the truth is they probably didn't even notice that I had taken my shirt off. For easy lunches, I marinated some lentils to top some salads with some Italian salad dressing, a very generous pour. Then I added in celery and red peppers and combined, and honestly, that keeps in the fridge for a really long time. Also, for a salad topper, I baked some tofu, tossed with cornstarch, salt, pepper, garlic powder, nutritional yeast, some liquid smoke, and a bit of vegetable oil. I put that in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes, tossing halfway through, and it makes a delicious topping on salads. While I was making my dinner, I just decided to throw together my lunch for tomorrow by putting a bunch of ingredients that I prepped on Sunday in a container to make a salad. So there's some kale and baby spinach. I cut up some cucumbers, some tomatoes, and some broccoli. If you haven't had broccoli on salad, you're missing out because it's amazing. So I'm just gonna throw on top some of this tofu that I baked up. And then I have here some of the marinated lentils that I made. And there's some salad dressing in here, so I don't even need to pack dressing, but that's why I keep this on the side so it doesn't make the ingredients all soggy. So this is where meal prep comes in handy, because normally I'd be really annoyed about having to make my lunch for tomorrow and probably just wouldn't do it. And now it's made easy, and there's all this food that I feel like I have to eat. So yeah. I had some leftover kale after prepping it for salads and things, so I decided to make some kale chips by adding some MCT oil, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and nutritional yeast. Is a pattern. I like all of those ingredients. And then I just spread that on a baking sheet and cooked it at 350 for a little too long. I burnt the kale chips. That's a big whoops. They looked pretty ready when I took them out at 15 minutes. And I thought, nah, 5 more minutes. No, big mistake. They're for sure burnt. But they're crunchy, and the good news is I used a little bit too much salt. So they're really delicious. Apparently forgot to film, or at least lost the footage for, is this quinoa salad that is in this burrito bowl that I made. I will put the recipe down in the description below. It's a really good salad. It's got a bit of spice to it, and I really enjoyed having it throughout the week. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some great recipe ideas. I hope you enjoyed me talking about my non-scale victories. If you have a tiny little goal that you've been working towards and you've met it, or you're almost about to meet it, make sure you celebrate it. If you want to follow me on Instagram to see more of some of me shouting myself out and celebrating my own little victories, at Happy Healthy Life of Jules on Instagram, I'd love to connect with you that way. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.